What a beautiful blessing to be here with all of you in the temple. I'm so excited. I can barely contain my excitement to dive into temple culture with all of you. This is like such an exciting moment. I have some treats for all of you a little bit later. We shall move into that. Oi, Anne. But first I would like, as is tradition, let's invite another sister in to begin with acknowledgement and a prayer. Is that our other temple sister? Yes, it is. Oh, I have been at the fountain trying to drink, right? But the drops were missing my mouth. And now that I am here with you, I can drink fully from the fountain of the mother. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, the mother brings us powerful initiations sometimes when we least expect it. And as who we will soon dive into is the great mother Inanna, who was the first temple was built for her. Inanna was, of course, making her descent into the abyss, down, down, down. And I've been on something of a similar journey. So I'm so happy to dive into her greatness. Okay, my loves. We on it. I am MiraMichelle. I'm the founder and director of the Sacred Female Rising Institute and the Cleanse Site Project. And it is such a great honor and pleasure to open the temple here in World Unity Week, all in the name of unity consciousness, coming together as one human family in deep appreciation and reverence to our differences and also to each other's humanness. What an honor to do that. And behold the sisters who have joined us. I'm so very, very honored to be here with all of you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, all that are watching. You know, it really, really matters. It really matters. These precious moments, these intricate moments we spend with the sacred, with the divine. Thank you. So I ask you to come with your own heart sacredness, bring that into this moment, however you pray, however you weave that special magic of who you are, bring it on. We love that. And let us just take a few moments of quietness inside. And feel yourselves breathing deeply into your body temples, into that great vehicle of light we call body. Breathe with me now, dear ones. Hold and exhale. And exhale. Goddess bless. Goddess bless. We could stay in there, for longer. Hello, sister. It's good to see you. Yes, it's good to see you. What a blessing. Wow, what a diverse group of women. Look at these beautiful temple women. Ah, wow. Okay, so we have a bit of a program, and everyone's going to be weaved into this program. So what we're going to start with is a question. How did the ancient temples of women arise? Where and when? So I would like to dive into that just a little bit this morning. A few minutes of historic background. Check it out. And why are these customs necessary tools for womankind now, and how do they serve us? So when I get to these questions, then I'm going to open it up to these wonderful women and see what they think about what they have heard and what they feel in themselves, what they have experienced themselves, right? And then we're going to be inviting our wonderful sister Katarina Peters after this short dialogue to open the space for us that we can dream, that we can fly, that we can feel all of what we've just shared, we can process it and go on a little trip through the temples, so to say. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's all very exciting. Like life, it's a big experiment. So we're just going to dive in there and be as we are, women, partly the chaos, or sometimes the big chaos, and sometimes the, the controlled chaos. And accepting our chaos is actually one of the big ones in life, flowing with our perceived or so-called chaos. Okay, my love. So the first temple. Honoring that temple. We have mused for thousands of years of what was these collective of temples that first appeared on our planet some thousands of years ago. Much of the time, the archaeological, anthropological fact of that these temples existed have been hidden. Many a time I have spoken to women who did not know our own female, her story, his story. So there is an invitation I bring to all of you is dig deeper, research, follow your intuition and find it out, because I can just about guarantee that you will feel empowered when you read and you vibrate you realize. And that is not about putting something above the other. No, it's not about creating hierarchy. As we know, nature has her own hierarchies, which are shifting and changing and teaching us very well. I would love to go on with that subject, but we're staying on with the temple now. That could be its own hour in itself. So the first temples, of course, were born out of our matri clans, our matrilineal systems, which are born of the biology of nature as women gave birth. So a woman could definitely 100% say, that's the child I just gave birth to, couldn't she? That's mine right there. Can smell, I can taste. Yeah, that one's mine. There's no mama that basically can't do that unless she lost all of those nature or natural flowing vibes. But in those days, we had not. So from these matrilinear, matrifocal, not matriarchal, that's a different description. Okay, there were matriarchs, but we didn't have matriarchal tribes. We had matrifocal and matrilinear, which is tracing descent through the mother line. So, my sisters, if you felt into your mother line, all of you here and all of you watching, if you just put your right hand on your left shoulder and just extend that arm back, just like if you were about, oh, look, I'm touching the temple. Isn't that interesting? To say hello. Hello. Hello, Motherline. Going all the way back to the beginning of time, to the beginning of our time. This species sitting here, this multi-dimensional bridge between heaven and earth species. Thank you. Thank you for getting me here. And I ask of you to often feel into this as you can. Just extend your left hand back and breathe deeply and just feel into your female ancestors. You will at some point reach that wise one, that medicine woman, that one that was still deeply connected to the coded wisdom of our earth. You will find her. She is there. Blessings for all of our mothers, 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 mothers. Also, a deep and interesting topic. We're staying on course here. Oh, thank you for bringing that live. What then was the shift that began our first place of worship on the planet? Well, what is this?
That's a date.
Ah, the date. Inanna was known as the Lady of the Dates, and the first temple was called Nana, meaning food. And the first temple was the warehouse, the storehouse of the dates. Because as we know, if we go back even further into our Paleolithic past, the first ceremonies were to honor the great thanksgiving of Nana, food, right? We humans are very simple after all when you come down to it. Indeed. What do our men say sometimes? Give me food, baby. Of course. It is our pleasure, our honor, our love, our nurturing to do so. It is how we walk and how we weave. Of course, my darling, we will bring you food. Okay, so they began. We know that they weren't the oldest temples in the Fertile Crescent, Mesopotamia, right? However, we have written words that point into this understanding for us to acknowledge. And from this place began the Temple of Inanna. And from this place made holy the great mother goddess, who was at that time written in myth up until about 1500 BCE. She was the mother of earth and sky, well, sky and earth and all. And this slowly began to change. This slowly began to, let us say, morph into another understanding as our planet began to experience itself. We won't go deeper into that. I know many of you are watching like, go deeper into that, but we're just tasting on that part, okay? We're experiencing now an understanding that many of us may have not have heard before. So I do urge you to go and research Inanna, who then, as the progression of Ur and Uruk, these city-states in this area, became Ishtar, right? And this is why there's a well-known saying, the goddess of 1,000 names. But ultimately, it comes back to her. Ooh, I like that. She's doing a little dance. Research her. Anthropomorphic figurine of the fertility goddess over 40,000 years. Okay. So that is a brief historical teaching. There's so much more to it, so much more. So again, for the third time, like the triple goddess, I will say, go and do your research. Blessings. You will love it. Now, there is another part, and this is an important part. The temples were not only places, let us say, of comfort, of holding the sacred dates, the storehouse, of, let us say, practices that we perceive nowadays with great bliss or relaxation. That was one part of the temple. You got to go into those places once your work was complete for the day, because the temples were great places of mystery, and culture and art and craft. For instance, like these soaps were made daily, right? Great works of art from nature, and ceremonial items, of course, were procured and worked upon. And of course, the young priestesses would sweep the temple floors. Inside the sacred work of building endurance, patience, grace, respect, reverence were being built, because these were the true muscles that the temples were built upon. And then we also had the ceremonial aspects and the initiations. Now, these initiations were great indeed, and sometimes you may not make it through. Meaning, the temples were no joyride, darlings. And they were amazing centers of higher learning, trance, energetics, the oracles, the true meaning of the deeper state of trance, and incredible processes were contained in the ceremonies and also in the temples and passed down. And I will say, as a close now, before we go on to our next part, is that many of those sacred tools, which perhaps some had thought, or many had thought, were lost, have not been. Have not been. And some are coming back through time to us now, to certain women that are ready to perceive and to bring them in. And some are coming back through the gathering of certain women connected through time, which through their gathering naturally open those portals to receive this knowledge. And that is why it is such deep importance for the circle work to go on. So thank you for continuing that. Thank you. Okay, so some of you here have enough bases been covered for us to go on? Do you think? Yeah? Okay. Silence is always a good sign. So if I were to ask this group to unmute and ask them, oh, what do you perceive now? What elemental are you most perceiving here with us now?
I perceive water.
Yes, so do I.
And beauty.
Mm.
Perceive a fresh wind.
Yes.
I hear your birds.
Perceive the grounding of the earth.
I perceive the fountains.
Wait.
I perceive herbs and smoke coming out.
nurturing,
flowers and plants,
Smell blood, sacred blood.
and giving birth.
And fire.
I perceive visitors.
Mm. Wow.
Perceive children.
I perceive sound.
Mm-hmm.
I perceive rhythm in the drums.
Mm. The heartbeat.
I
Oh,
perceive.
yes.
I perceive dancing. Mm.
That's just what I was feeling. I begin to see. I see them. I see our female ancestors, perceiving them in us. I feel like this would be a wonderful time for Katarina to begin with the drum. Then we can go on to these two essential questions we have for female kind.
Do you hear me? Yes. Siehst du das? Im Internet live. Sorry, my daughter just came.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Bring the daughters.
I'm a red drum carrier, as you know, but we had a lot of fiery days with a lot of process in the last days. So I would love to drum and a bit softer today. This is my moon drum. She has a big heart.
Wow.
I invite the waters. I invite the waters. Of ease. For our softness and sensitivity. The holy earth, oh, Swim like a whale, breathe like the birds. Oh, slow like the turtle, floating in deep water. Oh, sacred songs of the bees, golden light in the trees. Oh, oh, the mother is my medicine. Hum with me, sister. Sacred water, into the wind go, into the earth I know, into the womb, into the mother. Hey.
Ooh, thank you so much, sister. Thank you for that great blessing of that
Thank you.
source of inspiration. Thank you. All of us here. Whoa, goosebumps. They keep coming in waves. Goosebump waves, sisters. Goosebump waves. From all of you, as you were just vibrating with that drum. I feel all of your spirits just starting to open and sink in. Wow. And I hope all of you at home also. Blessed be. As we women are learning about our ancient past and breathing into it and delving into it for to discover to the adventure to ourselves. I would love to ask our sister Sandy. Sandy is actually born in the region of different ethnicities in Lebanon. She's born in this soil, these places. And we've spoken personally about some of her experiences with the sacred in this region. So I would love to open that to my sister Sandy and honor that in her, that she comes. Look, in my screen, she's sitting in the middle of us all. I love that. She's sitting in the middle for you all. Bless be, sister. Tell us a few things.
Hello. Thank you, Mira. Yeah, so born and raised on Lebanese soils, but the roots actually go into Armenia. I have not explored the sacred there yet. But in Lebanon, so of course, Lebanon and Armenia around Iran, Turkey, more or less, that would be ancient Mesopotamia. It's not really clear. Iran, Iraq, around there. Unfortunately, in these days, the sacred has been more lost into causes of religion, let's say, a little bit more further out than spirituality. But I've had the chance to also explore a little bit around the temples in Lebanon. And there is one particular temple called the Temple in Baalbek. And they say that it was built in Roman times, but actually it was not. It's much older. And the energy that moves in the place is extremely powerful. Now, with the Romans, they say it turned into Dionysus and more the goddesses of wine. But the energy is indeed something out of this world, to say the least. And yeah, being in such places really just helps to sink deeper into what is there, just completely get out of the brain and tune and drop into the body to really feel what has occurred over there. And there's of course so much more to explore around these parts. And yeah, it's an ancient culture, yeah, with how languages came through, the ways of expression, what other means of culture, the music, everything. So yeah, that's a little bit of what I can share. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Oh, I'm also calling that and feeling that energy coming through. A birthing place on this planet of the divine feminine. But there are so many across our planet that it's so wonderful to be able to see and feel and hold that vibration there within temple form. So then I would put it out to all of you, dear ones. Thank you so much for being present here and holding space. It's much bigger than this Zoom room, what we're holding space for right here and now. Why would you all say, if you feel comfortable in answering this, why would you say that the customs of these times are necessary tools for women now? And what does that look like for you? Okay. I see the temple in most and many of the current and let us say recent, as in the last 70 years, methods of interpersonal growth, right? And how do you think they serve women? And how do you think women, that's one question. And how do women knowing about their temple past and connecting with it would assist them in their lives, do you feel? So one or the other questions you could feel free to expand upon. Or perhaps any of you watching in the chat on FB, feel free to put something in the chat and we'll listen to you, what you got to say.
So I have one aspect of the importance of remembering, and that is very simple. It is a physical, nourishing, grounding energy. As we now come into the photonic ring, and a lot of light is coming on this place, on Mother Earth, challenging new frequencies or old. Maybe I really don't have no idea of old or new. It's just a big change. And for our body and our nervous system to to download and integrate all this energy, it's really important to feel this resonance of Mother Earth and the grounding and the nurturing, and listen to your body. Which kind of food do you need now? And this is, yeah, you're really taking time for this process now. And this is the temple is a timeless place. So yeah, like being hold from the mother. Blessings.
Blessings.
I feel like the knowledge about the temple, well, knowing more about the temple goes hand in hand with unity. Because as you said, Mira, when we all walk and we all carry our medicine, we all carry our wisdom, but when we get together, the frequency changes. It intensifies, it gets more potent. And I feel like when we do gather in spaces like this in the temple, this energy can grow even higher, the frequency can grow higher, and we all race into this new world together. And therefore I feel so necessary and so beautiful that we do this, that we do unite and get together and pray and sing together. And I also want to thank you for the singing, Katrina, and for the storytelling, all of you. It's so beautiful and so nourishing, and my heart is like it's pure medicine for my heart, and I'm so grateful.
Let's be, sister, and your magic. Right when you said it's so necessary and so important, you heard that tu-ta-ta-ta behind you. Like
Greetings from Germany.
Now,
you just manifested that to highlight your point, or what? Or what, sis? Well done. Oh, bless. Let's continue on with this question for another 5 to 7 minutes. Look, why are these customs? I'll repeat the questions. Why are the customs of the temple, from the ceremonies to the daily life to the works, why are these customs amazing tools for womankind now? How do they help women now? And how do women become empowered by acknowledging their ancient past? So yes, what Katerina said about really being grounded and realizing how we're working with energy all the time and being more aware of what we're doing. Like we're presently moving through the photon belt, which is bringing extreme energies to all of us, as our sister Catherine mentioned, and also as our sister Undina highlighted. So what else do you have for us, sweet sisters?
In my experience, what is important for the empowerment of women and men, these are initiations. So we need the sacred space in the temples or in our circles, which are temples. And I think it's very important for the community. And what is also important is to accept and acknowledge that we are the temple and that our bodies are temples and that we should treat them like this.
Hey. Let's be. I really feel my sister Tina coming in on this one. I don't know why your spirit, your spirit just stepped up.
I just got finished renovating my own temple in my garden. And it's so special. It's so special. It's an old, like a corn storage kind of building. It's almost 400 years old. And we've been renovating it now for like 7 months. And I just started my yoga teachings there. I have a friend who's an angel coach who gives angel trance meditations, and we just planned a session together, and it feels so special to be in there. I wanted to do this in there, but my VLAN is not working yet, so I couldn't be there. But it really feels like a temple. It's a spiritual temple, and it has a lot of protection. It's magic. It's very energetically loaded, and it just feels so good.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, let's be. Congratulations, my darling.
It's a sacred place. It's a safe place. It's a safe place. And that's what we need. We need places where we feel safe and protected. That's important.
So true. Hey. So true. Thank you so much for stating that. Absolutely. That's something that hadn't been stated. Yes, the temples were absolutely safe places for women where they were protected. And the divine and the sacred vibration was also protected, right? And held in such a reverence. Okay, so we have like 3 more minutes with this wonderful dialogue. Who else would love to share?
Thank you, Katarina, for your song. It was so magic. And it got me in the temple. And I felt so safe. And I felt that when I feel safe, I can nourish other women, young mothers, and I can give more. And so everybody needs a temple to nourish herself, and then to give something to the community. And it felt so easy and soft and very safe. And that's so missing in some places of the world now. So we really need temples with singing and the opportunity to let the body flow and move and clean. I was very touched by your song, so touched. Thank you very much. Hey.
Hey.
Just something I'd like to add. I think it's absolutely necessary to continue the work of our ancestors. So these people were working hard, and they were, when there was no distractions as we have nowadays, they were really very in tune with nature, very in tune to the rhythm and to the sacred. And they worked their asses off, and we have to work 10,000 more times because we are just so far out of our own alignment, and we're just so busy in our heads these days and so much distractions. And it's such a waste to waste that. It's the biggest shame ever that everything that our ancestors have built, I mean, we, as many of you said, also the body is the temple in itself. They still live and work through us. So it is a duty, in fact, to continue that work in all the little things that we do, honoring our bodies inwards, building temples, continue any work, learning songs, passing them on. I think that it's very necessary. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hi,
Oh,
Cindy.
hey.
Can I say one little thing more? Cindy and me, we once found out that we have ancestors of the same region of this world, and I was like years working to find a ground and peace after my mother has died, and I was like, it can't be that this war of the Armenian crisis with the Turkish people is like the last thing I can remember and feel, and there must be something peaceful, full of joy and love and sexual expression, and where's that energy? I mean, it must be there. And I was like, searching and putting the earth beside, like really grabbing, and then I found it in these temples. I really could reactivate this resonance, and I was like clicked in my creativity and my female empowering. Yeah, that was my story.
Blessed be. It's a sort of belonging, grounding that happens that will erase some of the busyness of the mind, the insecurities of the mind, which take us out of our power, reignites that deep sense of belonging, which is beyond words and form or definition. It's a vibration, which is a knowing vibration, which is alive within every human, as our sisters just said in their own ways. And what is so beautiful about our planet, about our universe, it has everything in it. And there are so many forms which will lead us to the same vibration. So find your form, darlings. That's what I'm saying. This is the form that we're focusing on now. This blessed form, this remembrance, this womb vibration, which is the holding, the ultimate container, the ultimate nurturing container, of course. What if it's not for you? What's so wonderful about our world right now is we don't have to go, it's not for me anymore, because we're over that phase. We can just go, oh, bless you. Here's my form. May I join the party? Like, of course, bring your form and your light and your golden rays. And we shall all sing and we can dance. And within that dance, I hear two very clear voices coming from that temple behind me, or all the temples, or the temples within each woman here, and which want to be spoken out loud. They're like, don't forget me, sacred sexuality. Sacred sexuality is a very important part of the temple. And for women to meet and to uncover their sensual, sexual being, for it is a great empowerment for their spiritual ascension. And for women to not suppress or be afraid of this power, right? So it was nurtured in a very holistic, very honoring way. And we all know how the free woman, the temple woman, had different rights than other women in their society. Please research that. We don't have time to go into it. and how this free woman later on, as patriarchy grew, I'm very sensitive when I use that word, because I don't want to put all men under that guise and say that's bad, because that's not what's happening here. It is a system, right? It's a system of form, and it is also a system of hierarchy, which was new to our species at that time. So, however, what I want to say is that the sacred, flowing, free priestess then became named as the temple prostitute later, but that's actually really wasn't what it was. Okay, so that wanted to be spoken through. And the other part, yeah, blessings, the other part that wanted to be spoken through was initiation. What our sister, who said initiation? There you go. Thank you so much for reminding me. Initiation. 30 seconds about initiation, my darlings. Very important aspect of life. All ceremonies had something about initiation, and life is about initiation. So be aware the times when initiation wants to come to you and through you to bless you. And sometimes it blesses you with a big stick. Okay? So this is your time to actually order your initiations before the initiation comes with a big stick. If you want to know, if you know what I mean. Live consciously the changes and the development of your life. Okay. So if we weave around our wonderful circles, we're about to tune out as the serpent moves. Great energy of transformation and ascension. Every woman say one word, please, of her greeting. Okay. Blessings, Ahe. One word to end.
Revival.
Sacredness.
Bliss.
Celebrate.
Life.
Circle.
Humanness.
You all so much. Thanking the temple and all of our female ancestors and male ancestors, and thanking this new day. Thank you, sisters. Blessed be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.